this to order. It is 6:30. This meeting was posted on September 9, 2016, and we have all members present. Will you please stand for the invocation of prayer? Father, I come to you tonight relying on the words that you find in your Holy Scriptures, Romans 8:38, that nothing can separate us from your love, neither life nor death, or the present or the future, or angels or demons, or any power that may be. Your love for us is eternal. And we rely on that love to see us through some of these difficult days. I pray for each parent that is here tonight concerned about their child's education. I pray for each school employee that they will strive every day to be working at the position that they have, to be role models for these children. Forgive us every time that we fail to act as we should as believers in your word and in your Son Jesus. And I ask these things in his name. Amen. We thank you for coming tonight, each of you, and it's time for our open forum. We have two people who would like to speak. The first one is James Draper. He's usually here representing Kilgore News Herald, but he's here for a different part and additional reason tonight.
Good evening. I won't keep you long, but I do thank you for the opportunity to speak. Just wanted to remind everyone that the Special Abilities Family Fun Event Day is coming up this week and weekend in Kilgore. On Thursday, we have the premiere of the Everyday Heroes documentary about some of our local individuals with special needs, as well as the Special Abilities Family Fun Event Day itself. That is a mouthful, I apologize. On Saturday, we have the Safe Day from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Everything throughout the week is free. We hope that everyone will join us, and we hope that in particular, you'll reach out to those people you know with special needs and with special needs family members and encourage them to come. There are everyday heroes, and we certainly want them to be welcome in Sabine and in Kilgore. And thank you for the opportunity to remind everyone. I have some information that I'm happy to distribute after the meeting, and y'all have a great night.
Our next speaker is Mr. Dukes, and his topic is investigation procedure and concerns. He will have up to 5 minutes to speak, and Mr. Raymond will alert him when he has 1 minute remaining.
Ms. Wright, Mr. Bryce, and members of the board. Last week I had the opportunity to sit through the interrogation of two of my clients by Mr. Sutherland. Both of the clients were told initially that they had done nothing wrong or under investigation. One of my clients was told that you are just a guinea pig, and in a little while you'll learn why you're here. Is that what we've become, guinea pigs, while this never-ending investigation for what anyone knows continues? During Mr. Sutherland's investigation, he misquoted the law, and he used portions of another law out of context to make the witnesses think they had done something wrong or violated a statute. After telling both clients they were not under investigation and not accused of wrongdoing, he told one client that she was doing something inappropriate. He misstated one client's answers at least twice, which called for correction by both me and my client. He told one client that the members of this board, some of you, he said, were concerned because this client was being paid separate stipends for her duties as a coach and a sponsor of an organization. Now, this person spent over 20 hours last week serving her duties as a coach and a sponsor. And that's before school, during school, and after school. The week before, she spent approximately 26 hours before school, during school, and after school performing her supplemental duties for some of the children of some of the board members. Yet, no one on this board has ever come to this person and told this person, you're concerned about her being paid for her work. And I know everybody on this board would like to be paid when they do a job. In most communities, if the community received a report, such as the report that was issued, the August 28th report by Mr. Sutherland, the school board and the community would be overjoyed that there was no fraud, no embezzlement of funds, no one was padding the books, and no one's getting rich illegally off of the school board. Everyone would be glad that the portable building was sold and approved by TEA, and then if mistakes were being made, they were honest mistakes, they're fixable. Instead, for whatever reason, despite what this investigation is doing to good and honest people, we keep digging deeper and deeper, hoping to find something, anything. And if an employee exercises his or her right to request that the interrogation by Mr. Sutherland and his associate be recorded, and Mr. Sutherland denies, and then the employee says, well, to protect myself, I'm not going to attend the meeting, then what happens is this employee gets retaliated against. On September 7th, a client of mine did not refuse to be interviewed, in fact agreed to be interviewed, but wanted that meeting to be recorded. Mr. Sutherland would not allow that to occur, so the meeting didn't take place. On that same day, a member of this board requested copies of my client's contract. And if all of you, when we get down to items 8G and H on the agenda, will notice those two items are done in direct response to my client refusing to be interviewed without having the opportunity to record the interview. So is that where we're going? Do we want to hurt good and loyal employees of this district? And for what? We haven't seen anything yet. I stayed neutral, and I kept hearing I would find out and we would know what this was right away. It would be very glaring. So far, I haven't seen anything. Our teachers, our community, our school district employees are not guinea pigs. All that is happening is good people are getting hurt and our community is getting divided. We can move forward and grow, or we can stay where we are and be stuck in the mud. If we truly want Sabine to be great, let's put an end to this forensic audit, forensic investigation, and let's be forward. And let's do what Ms. Wright just said. Let's be guided by Jesus Christ and not be separated by
We're in the information section of our agenda, and item A is to hear a report from Mr. Sutherland on the forensic audit report phase 2.
Good evening. I'm here because I was asked by several members to present you with an update of the investigation. The first thing I'd like to do is clarify some of the things in my original report. The first thing I have heard or read that the school board attorney, Mr. Armstrong, has disagreed with my opinion as to whether this was, the sale was a violation of the Texas Education Code. what's not in my report that I will issue an amendment to is that my opinion is based upon my discussions with the Financial Compliance Department of TEA, who routinely handles these types of complaints regarding portable buildings. They are the ones that advised me that this statute is what TEA uses to investigate or make determination as to problems with property. Property being equipment, equipment being portable buildings. Again, I've discussed this many times with the board. I will not make legal opinions, but I will report from the regulatory agencies, the agencies that oversee school law, their assessment of what our investigation uncovers. This is a prime example of at least TEA stating that this was a violation of that code. Number two, I have read it, and again, we just heard it, that my report did not disclose any illegal acts. I was very specific in my report that it is my opinion that Mr. Bryce intentionally signed a false certification to the Texas State Attorney General's office. The law prohibiting that is a Class C felony for filing a false certification. I did not put that in my report, but I will amend the report to clarify that that could be considered an illegal act. As to two employees expressing concerns regarding my interviews with them and what we came out of it with, Mr. Bryce and Mr. Yandell, I have afforded both of them the opportunity to come and meet with me to discuss what they feel was misrepresented or misunderstood. That will be in my report, what they feel was misrepresented or misunderstood. As to the current investigation, I was made aware after the issuance of my report, and it's been made public, that TEA closed its investigation on the complaint on the sale of the portable building. I spoke to the investigator that issued the letter to Sabine ISD. She did not do the investigation. In fact, she was assigned the case subsequent to me talking to another investigator who advised me that the investigator who investigated this matter had left TEA and gone to be an investigator for the State Attorney General's office. Therefore, I spoke to them on the Monday, August 18th, that I gave my presentation to the board in closed meeting. That letter from that investigator was a direct result of her being assigned the case either that day or shortly thereafter, looking at the investigative notes on the file of the prior investigator. And here's what she told me the file said. The file said that Mr. Bryce and Mr. Raymond had both advised the investigator that the board approved Mr. Bryce to sell the portable building. Again, I have looked at the notes, the board meeting notes. All it talks about is that there were discussions. There was no action taken, very specifically stated in the October notes. We have no board minutes that say anything to the contrary. And in fact, we have documentation, emails that basically state, emails and memos written by school administrators that the building was actually sold probably in September 2015, prior to the October meeting where the discussion of the sale of the building was discussed. Also, the discussion was how to do it. Do we use a auctioneer to sell this equipment? That's clearly stated in the notes.
Whose note?
The minutes of the.
That is as false a statement as you've made in here in writing, period.
I think it's
That is
clearly
false.
stated in the minutes.
That is false. It may have been what those four told you, but that's not what happened.
My memory is. I'm sorry I didn't bring my report tonight. I went through my computer. But I have to show you.
This agenda item has to do with phase two. You've not talked anything about phase two so far.
I am talking about phase two.
Building was phase one. Are we still investigating the building?
We're still investigating the building since we got a letter subsequent to phase one that said that they had to close their investigation upon false representations. Yes, sir.
Let it keep going. I think it's making itself.
The next thing is, we came out this last Tuesday, we did talk to one employee. We discussed overlapping duties, which is pretty much number one on our list as to what we stated we would discuss with employees. That employee stated that they drove a bus during eighth period ending at 3:30 p.m. in the afternoon, but that they checked in or signed in on the computer at 15 till 3 every day to go drive the bus. So they drove the bus from 15 till 3 to approximately a little before 4 every day. But that it was not a stipend. The information provided to me by Sabine ISD listed this payment to this employee as a stipend. She said it was regular work pay based upon an hourly rate, which is in contrary to those documents that were provided to me. The next thing we were discussing, we have it on our list, to look at unreported gifts to administrators. As you well know, Mr. Franklin, you and Mr. Bryce have both disclosed that you gave Mr. Bryce Texas Rangers baseball tickets. But that hasn't been all the gifts that had been reported to us by Mr. Bryce or anyone else. We discussed with one vendor that in consecutive years, they have provided Mr. Bryce with 4 Texas Ranger baseball tickets, which have a value of over $200 for the 4 tickets. That has not been reported as a conflict of interest or as gifts received by Mr. Bryce. In addition to conflict of interest, another item that we have discovered in our short investigation today on phase 2 is that Mr. Bryce's daughter worked for the architect of the elementary school while that school was being built, is what we're being told. and several contractors have made that aware to us, and that was not disclosed. TASB has several circulars that have gone out that clearly state that if a member of your family is working for a vendor, that needs to be disclosed, and that has not been disclosed. As far as future investigation, we plan on coming out next week and continuing. We don't expect this to be lengthy. The trying to arrange meetings with individuals is the hardest part, to get everybody available on the same day as the investigation goes on. We were very fortunate this past Tuesday to have quite a number of people we interviewed during the same day, without much break between the interviews, if any. So that's my update.
I guess my first question is, my first question is this: you said that you had several members ask you to come tonight, or a couple of members ask you to come tonight to give this update.
Yes.
What school board members were those?
I believe Mr. Armstrong related that Mr. Raymond had asked for an update. I met with Ms. Bates last week, and we discussed providing an update. And I didn't say you asked for one, I said we discussed it. Okay.
This is exactly why no one wants to interview with you anymore without it being recorded. I know exactly why you don't want it recorded. The simple fact you can't get straight. When I told you that you investigated something that I didn't even ask you to investigate, that is an absolute truth.
Well, again, I've asked you if you would.
Yes, you
like
sure
to
have
sit
asked me, and I
down.
told you to send me questions in email, and I would respond to them. But I was done meeting with you face to face because you can't get facts straight. Simple little facts.
Let me read to you what I sent to Blake. I said, does the board have a right to know what he is looking for and why? We as a group are his employer. We as a group should know what he is doing, not some random person who has a beef with somebody in Sutherland that has bad information to start looking at something that doesn't matter. And I think I'm not alone when I say I want to know what he is looking for and why. And then I will read you Blake's response to that yesterday. And then
You were already
Blake's-
scheduled to be on the agenda before yesterday.
The board absolutely has a right to know what Sutherland is doing. You all authorized a lot of money for his work, and if you have questions regarding his work, you should be able to get answers. That's the conversation I had with Blake, was I want to know what you're investigating for your phase 2 and why. Who's directing you? Who's told you to look at these items? You're looking at items from years ago, people that weren't even on the board at the time. But yet, you're looking into these things because somebody told you you need to look into it. But you're spending our dollars to do so. And at this point, you've got to have open record request to bill somebody's time for 3 weeks, so we're paying you to waste our time.
Excuse me, Mr. Raymond, I want to remind the audience that you're interrupting a board meeting, and we don't allow that in here. Excuse me?
Mr. Raymond, again, I asked you if you would meet with me. We have never met face to face.
I have no justification to spend the time with you and waste my time. I told you we could do it through email. If you'd email the questions, I'd do it. And I told you that I was in San Diego last week, and if you'd Skype with me, I'd do it with you that way. I came back from San Diego Saturday afternoon. I'm back today. If you're ready, let's go. I'll do it right here.
I'm not ready for your.
I am.
This afternoon. I will be back. I will make it at your convenience,
Okay.
and we will discuss it.
Okay.
I
We're
am
gonna do it here with an audience?
I am unaware of any items I am investigating that are over 3 years old.
When was the water well dug?
When was what?
When was the water well dug? Was that 2013? 2013's water well. Next.
The water was built at the end of 2013, yes, sir.
Okay.
Or early 2014.
We're 2016, so it's about 3 years.
Well, Right.
Okay, so when we're investigating who got the award for the elementary school, when was that built? Do you not know?
I don't know right off the top of my
Okay,
head.
then why are you correcting me?
But I have understood that the bidding process.
It's already been established what you understood is incorrect.
I'm sorry.
It's already been established that what you understood is inaccurate. So when you tell me that you're not investigating anything over 3 years old, that might be incorrect.
I don't think the building was finished being built.
We're not talking about when it was built, we're talking about who got awarded the building of the Sedalco or Huckabee or where Stacy's daughter worked. All of that has nothing to do with when the building was completed.
I'm not investigating how the building was awarded.
That's not part of what you asked for?
I've got a list right here. You want a copy of the RFQ submitted by WRL General Contractors for the construction of elementary school. Is James Gray in the audience? I don't know if he's here or not.
Well, I'll tell you what the issue is there. I'm very happy to tell you.
Well, but that's what we're asking.
My understanding is one of the vendors that submitted an application is a convicted felon, and they were included in the final 5 out of 13 vendors. My suspicion is they did not disclose that they're a convicted felon.
That somebody works for WRL?